I just ran my first half marathon. Hold on. It's hot in here. I'm just gonna... There we go. Much better. Good morning. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I think the last time that I checked in with you, I had not yet run a half marathon. So we're going to start with a little bit of a half marathon recap and just some things on running. But before I do that, just to sort of intro the video, I want to talk about the half marathon, obviously. But the story of today is this is what my life looks like a week before I leave my parents' house and I move into an apartment and start living alone for the first time. So we're going to do a little bit of a half marathon recap, but then I also want to talk about how I'm going about my apartment shopping, what I'm looking for, why I need to do this whole process alone. I know I need to get a new phone today, so there's a lot going on, but the story is basically just this is what my life looks like before I move out. I'll probably put some timestamps on this video because it's going to be a little bit all over the place, but that's it. Oh my god, I'm still recording. I'm so bad. I'm such a terrible YouTuber. I can't believe I'm a YouTuber. Like, when did that? Okay. So I guess the most natural place to start with the recap would be my time. I finished it in 2 hours and 2 minutes. Okay. Pause. I actually don't know how long it took me to finish this half marathon. All right, let's go for a little bit of an Ari story time. I messed up my route. I basically, and I do this when I'm driving to this place all the time, I stopped at a street that I thought it was on the map, but it was actually like 3/4 of a mile closer than the actual street that I was supposed to stop at. So I was getting really close to the finish. I started pacing a little bit faster. Luckily, I didn't go all out, but I was definitely running a lot harder. And I was like, all right, you know what? Like, I feel great. Let me just double check to make sure that I'm gonna hit 13.1. I have a tendency to overshoot the mileage, so this was the last thing that I expected. But I pull out my phone, and I'm like a half mile from where I'm supposed to stop running and have 13.1 on the clock, and it said 11.7. So then I'm just running up and down side streets. I ran without a plan. I didn't really know where I was going, and I kept like pulling out my phone to just double check how far I was going. Luckily, I pulled out my phone at 11.7 right around the road where I would end, so I knew at least if I got halfway there and then back, then I would get to 13.1. But what happened, because this is why I need a new phone, the phone just died when I had 20%. So this is my last screenshot of my run. It stopped at 12.48 miles with an hour and 58-ish minutes. And then I like look at this and I'm like, okay, now I'm probably gonna turn around. And then the phone just died. So I ran to my car, and I ran to my car. I quickly throw it in the charger. And luckily, this was resurrected from the dead, so I at least had 12.5. So then I backed into it based on my average pace, and then that's how I got to 2 hours and 2 minutes, but take it for what you will. There's no proof that I've actually completed a half marathon, but I hope this is good enough for you, because it's good enough for me. I think the most exciting thing about running this half marathon was that it really felt like my legs could just keep going. Like, I got to the end, and honestly, obviously part of the adrenaline and the freak out of not knowing when I was actually at 13.1, but I felt like I could just keep running. Like, easily, I could have run 3, 4, maybe 5 miles more if I was pushing myself, and that was just such an awesome way for me to end, just knowing the whole time that I was running. I didn't feel super fatigued. I didn't feel super taxed. My legs felt strong. Feeling that good while I was running, and then being able to end and feel that strong was so awesome, because it's one thing to take on a fitness challenge or any sort of challenge in life and finish it and you're just grueled and you feel like you've pushed yourself to the end, but this was really confidence inspiring for me, because knowing that I had that much energy running a half marathon opened my eyes and made me a little bit more confident about this secret challenge that I've been toying in a couple of my videos, where I thought to myself, you know what, I can actually do this. If my fitness level is to the point where I'm not dead running a half marathon, like, let's see where we can go from here. And that's it. That's all she wrote. It is just so inspiring to me to know that this is just like another notch on the belt of showing my body what it's capable of. And in that vein, I know I had talked about in the last video sort of like my self-talk and how it's gotten more positive as the mileage started to increase. But all of those runs that I was referencing, where even that's like started to become a positive dialogue, it was during my run. So I would get to like the halfway point and start really feeling good, and the adrenaline would kick in, and then my ego wouldn't come out to play. Like, it was just really positive dialogue. But what was cool about the half marathon is that I felt that positive self-talk before I even went off on my run, like a day before. I just kept telling myself as I got nervous, I'm worthy of this goal. Like, my body is worthy of taking this challenge on, and I'm gonna be able to do it. I'm worthy of this challenge. So that's it. I ran a half marathon. It's something that I never thought in my life that I would do, especially coming from like powerlifting and weight training backgrounds. Running truly has not been something that I ever thought that I was gonna do in my life, but we did it, and it was super confidence inspiring. I feel good coming off of this training block, or whatever you want to call it, and we'll see where life takes us. That's gonna wrap up my thoughts on the half marathon. It's super early right now. It's not even 8 a.m, but I am gonna go sit down and do a little bit of apartment shopping and just kind of walk you through what I'm looking at and why. So I will see you in a little bit. Cheers. So I wanted to take a second and sort of walk you guys through how I'm organizing for the move and making sure that I'm not getting super overwhelmed, that I'm checking all the boxes that I need to check, and I'm focusing where I need to focus. Tip number 1 is gonna be to get organized. So right here, I have a Google Doc that Emily and I have been building out with like every single piece of equipment or furniture, anything that I might need, and it's broken out by room. So if I show you this really quickly, so we have this for the kitchen, like all the appliances that I've been using super frequently recently, by bedroom. So we've got some comforter links in here, sheets, hangers, that kind of thing. The bathroom, laundry list as well. And then the living room. So we have like all the links down here where she's been sort of like helping me based off what I've said my style is. And we've just been kind of like highlighting and commenting all the things that I would potentially be interested in. Tip number 2 is gonna be to get focused. So we're utilizing the Pareto principle, which basically means that I'm focusing on the big ticket, high impact items for my space first. So obviously you saw there's like a 20 item list for the kitchen, but I'm not starting there because no one's gonna see that, and that's not really gonna have an impact on the energy of the space. What we're really focusing on is the living room. So the things that I have for the living room are the desk, a desk chair, a dining table, a couch, and then just something to make the space pop creatively. So I'm gonna bring my desk from home, luckily, so I don't need to worry about that. And then we're just figuring out like what kind of dining table do I want, what are the colors gonna be, like how are we gonna make that entire space flow and just kind of work really seamlessly together. That's where my energy should be if I don't want to be stressed about this, focusing on the things that are going to have the highest impact on energy flow and making that space feel creatively mine. And then tip number 3 is going to be establishing theme. So over the last few weeks as I've been prepping for this, I've been giving a lot more thought to how do I live my life on a daily basis? Where are the spaces that I usually go to get my work done, both professionally and personally for my creative work? What kind of colors make me feel good and happy? I do really well with dark spaces. So anything really dark brings out my creativity. Black, like my desk, the dining table is also a place where I tend to do a lot of creative work. So that's black as well. This is black. So all the places where I'm gonna be actively creating are dark because that just helps me get in the zone. And then on top of that, to sort of like brighten the space and make sure that it's not just super dark, we've been working on accent colors. As an example, like this is a couch that I'm looking at. Not necessarily gonna buy this one, but it's just like a dark gray, you know, brings the space out a little bit. It's not gonna be super dark, like I'm not gonna get a black couch. And then something that's gonna really make the space pop that I'm really excited about is we bought this geometric bookshelf. So we got it in white. So again, like it just is gonna make the space pop. And it's just like a little creative accent. It's where I'm gonna put all my camera gear and some books that have had an impact on me. So it's just something that kind of is gonna bring the space alive and really make it mine. I'm gonna go eat breakfast now, and then I have to go get new shoes. I have to go pick up my phone, and I will check in with you along the way. get new phones, do you also go back and forth over whether or not to get Apple Care? For me, I was like, how many times have I cracked my phone screen over the last year? 3? Only 3? Maybe I'll be more careful this year. I got Apple Care, don't worry, but this is the new phone. Check it out. It is the iPhone 12 mini in blue. I'm super happy with it. I had my last phone for 4 years. I had an iPhone 6S, so I was way overdue for an upgrade. With that being said, I'm going to wrap up the video here. I recognize that this vlog was super all over the place, but it was an honest representation of what my life looks like and feels like a week before I move out of here. I know this video is going to go up after the holidays, so I hope everyone had a happy holidays with their family, however many of those people you were able to spend it with. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next week. Next week I won't be in here. That's so crazy. Well, next week's video I'll be here, but the week after that, out of here. See ya.